All right, welcome back. So,
We're going to talk about one of the crappy topics.
Yeah, sexless marriage. If you're done and you want to leave, I've talked to several people in this situation, and I think one of the very first things is knowing who your supports are.
Yes, and for women or men, you need to make sure your support system's in place.
Absolutely. If you have zero support, it's time to start building that, because if you're going to go through a separation or divorce, you're going to need to rally your people around.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not saying you're going to badmouth your soon-to-be ex. That's meaning that you have some people that you can rely on for just general support. Maybe that's a therapist. Maybe it's a coach. Maybe it's your best friend from high school. I don't know who it is, but whoever it is, you need to make sure you know who they are.
And as important as knowing who your supports are, is knowing who you can't trust. When you've got that one relative you can't trust, don't trust them.
Right.
Don't give them information. So for women who are in an abusive situation, where you're staying is huge.
You need to go ahead. Sorry.
So you've got to know who you can't tell.
Right.
When I used to work in the corporate world, my biggest complaint was there's a stigma to being an abused spouse. And how can I protect you at work when that's the only location they know you're at? If I don't know, there's a problem. So, but so you know who your supports are, know who is not.
Right.
And then you need to take an honest look at your financial situation.
Yeah. That's a rough one for a lot of women, particularly if they've been a stay-at-home parent or if they have, I'm just going to say it the way it is, sacrificed some of their own career advancement for the good of the family or for his career. Identify whatever accounts and balances that you can.
So what we're going to talk about in these next couple of topics, starting with that, applies to both, because believe me, I'm in some communities where we've got stay-at-home dads where the mom's a doctor or an attorney, and it is the same situation, just flipped.
No, that's fair.
So figure out, where's the banking done? Where are things done? And you're entitled to half of those accounts. So whether you're male or female, doesn't matter. If you're going to leave, do not take more than half, or you're going to tick off a judge at some point, and it could blow up in your face. Okay? So also identify any significant assets and, property, antiques, things that were purchased during the marriage.
I know of a couple where one person just kind of started disposing of all kinds of things like that, and kind of got in trouble for that.
Well, and again, the value of it can be calculated, and they're still going to be, you're still entitled to half of that value. I know somebody who built up a large cash reserve because of the part-time job they had. So document, and on a cloud drive that nobody has access to, you document and save those things.
You're going to want to talk to an attorney at some point. You find out what spousal support, child support, what that looks like.
And this is while you're working on trying to turn things around. No, sorry, we're on if you're done. You should really start doing this before you're done, though. And this is why I made that.
That's fair.
Because I want men to understand what divorce looks like. And I want a woman to understand what divorce looks like. So
you can't make a good decision if you don't know what the reality is.
And the saddest thing I see, and I could think of a case that I talked to somebody in the last 72 hours, they had negotiated a very reasonable, appropriate settlement. Now she's decided, nope. And she's what I call one of the delusional ones. It's the I want, I deserve, I demand. The law spells out what you're entitled to.
Right.
And so just because you feel like you deserve something, why would you spend an extra $5,000 to $10,000 in legal fees fighting for something that you're not going to get?
Right.
because this is where the anger and vindictiveness, male or female,
No,
works against you. Divorce turns your marriage into a business negotiation. You're going to be dealing with this other person for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And if you let your emotions get too into it, yeah, it's a hurtful, painful process, but you can't let your emotions rule you in this.
And if you're done and your partner wants out, be quick, be efficient, get it done, because you probably will get the best settlement when you have another person who's in a hurry to get out of the relationship because they think they found the one, or they just want to be,
just want to be done. I've spoken to a lot of ladies who are just done. Like, I just want out. I don't even want any of his shit. I just want out.
Well, and figure out what you're entitled to and get out, because if he goes, wait, she's not going after this or this, he's going to be inclined to make it quick and easy.
Right.
You both win because you get your freedom, ladies.
Yeah.
What's your freedom worth? What's your happiness worth?
Right.
Something
else when you're talking to an attorney is kind of find out what custody issues look like in your area, your jurisdiction. A lot of states in the U.S. have gone 50-50.
As they should all, barring legitimate abuse.
Yeah.
Because I don't care who you are, 50-50 is what's best for your kids.
They need to have that relationship with both.
Yes. And do you want to do what's best for your kids, or do you want to do what you can to cause your soon-to-be ex the most pain possible? That's the decision a lot of people have to make.
Yeah.
And it's a two-way street. And guys, don't move 5 states away and then complain that you never see your kids. I can't believe when I see this in some of I'm like, why do you do this? And ladies, don't fall in love and decide I'm going to move 4 hours away and think I'm going to take the kids. Because you shouldn't get them in that case. He leaves them, but then I see these people, male and female, I'm going to move. No, you're stuck where you're at.
You need to be where you are so that you can co-parent effectively. You've had those children. You now need to be the responsible parent that, they need. It's
what's best for the kids. So then you have to have the worst talk of your life. What will be a top 5 worst day of your life? Telling the kids.
Yeah.
Ideally, you two are going to be on the same page. You're going to try not to blame, but...
I mean, this is if you've already told your partner.
Right.
I mean, you may need to have that talk.
You may have to have the talk that I want a divorce. Yeah, good point. I was already there.
You were already there. I get it. But I had to have 2 separate talks, and they were both really rough. But you've got to be prepared with all of these other things to understand how to have those conversations.
And don't have the I want a divorce conversation and think you're going to hammer everything out. Then you need to give that person some time to process.
Yeah.
And then really the laws spell out what the split is. So really it's an asset division. And then you want to, now the challenge is when one partner does not want the divorce in any way, shape, or form, especially if there's been infidelity. I know they're not willing to say it's a joint decision, and I kind of tend to back that person up. But you've got to get through this discussion in a way that's best for the kids. Yeah. You're going to have 2 homes. You have a mom and dad who love you. And you need to emphasize how it has nothing to do with them.
And even if your kids are older, they still need to have some sensitivity with this.
Yes.
I wasn't as sensitive as I should have been with my son.
It impacts adult children much as it does little kids. Their sense of identity gets damaged.
Absolutely.
So.
But ultimately, I do want to put out here that... a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to stay together for the kids. Don't do
Never.
That because
you'll harm them more than you ever will with a divorce.
Yeah.
If you divorce properly.
And many adult children of divorce, when asked, which way would you rather have seen it? A lot of them are going, I just wish they would have split sooner because they were miserable.
Yeah. But it is a good lead of clients for you when people stay together, because the kids end up needing counseling.
Yep.
For a lot longer. So
That's
I mean,
true.
It works out well for you. Hey, you're not doing
so
the
terrible,
kids. If you have a non-loving or a negative high conflict relationship, staying together for the kids is the worst thing you can do. And I don't want to hear, well, we can't afford to get divorced. You can't afford to stay together.
You really can't.
So, all right. And we're going to talk about the really ugly stuff in the next video.
Yep.
And we hope this has been helpful for you. And again, Fearlessly Feminine on Facebook.
And on YouTube.
And on YouTube. Look there for her videos. Join the Facebook group. And we'll see you on the next video.